On ready again? Ready again. Same motion. When you watch this video, just imagine that it was a man standing in support of these pedophilic ideologies. Watch the video.
Most of us feel discomfort when we think about pedophiles. But just like pedophiles, we are not responsible for our feelings. We do not choose them. But we are responsible for our actions. And we must make a decision. It is in our responsibility to reflect and to overcome our negative feelings about pedophiles and to treat them with the same respect we treat other people with. We should accept that pedophiles are people who have not chosen their sexuality and who, unlike most of us, will never be able to live it out freely if they want to lead an upright life. We should accept that pedophilia is a sexual preference.
Yes, from an emotional point of view, I can kind of understand that you would want to eliminate these people from society. However, it doesn't make sense. And that's because we're talking about biology. We're talking about a sexual orientation, something that we simply cannot change. And on top of that, every day, new people are born with the same difficulty. So it's not practical to eliminate these people from society. They haven't done anything wrong.
Before we actually address the elephant in the room, here's a thought. Have we ever truly looked into or explored the desires of a woman? We've lived in a society where the desires of a woman have been put on back burner. Yeah? There was a study that came out some time back wherein they took the Google searches of men and women and found that the things that women were actually searching for were some sadistic kind of stuff, like monsters having intercourse with females, vampires and werewolf having intercourse. A lot of women are actually curious and their desires reflect such as their Google search. And when I say Google search, I obviously I talk about porn search. We know say with data no safe, right? But I digress. I think that this is something that we really need to look a little bit deeper into, because I want you to observe, because you see you cannot beat observable facts, you know, no matter what you're coming with. Yeah, observe that the over-sexualization and the support of certain things that we as a people have come to know to be heinous actions against other human beings and children. These things are supported by a certain group of women. The heavy LGBTQ push, women are the primary supporters and the primary pushers of it. Gender reaffirming surgeries, women are the primary push of these things as well. And now pedophilia, women are the primary pushers behind the pedophilia. I want you to understand, as I indicated at the initial part of the video, observe if it was a man standing there to make this speech. What would you think about it? Could it have actually come out on the internet? What would happen to that man? A deep part of the issue is that women are quote-unquote equal, but are really given none of the responsibilities that comes with equality. There is no way you can be given a certain amount of power or a certain amount of privilege in any environment and don't have certain amount of accountability as it relates to the actions you carry out with that power. In other words, having such power yet operating with impunity, that's tyranny. What am I saying? Just like the previous video, we are seeing that more and more women are committing certain psychological offenses. And I'm going to say psychological offense because when you do something, especially to a child, even physically, it's not just physical. That child will grow with the trauma. And of course, I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite like I don't understand some of what she's saying. The part I understand is that people have feelings. People have feelings for various things. You understand? People have feelings for animal. People have feelings for all care. You understand? And it comes down to the why people even have feelings for picking it. But the fact of the matter is, when you're taking another human being who is unable to truly consent to anything, remember that that the child who say, oh, I want to be a little princess, grow up and no longer want to be a little princess. The child who say, I want to be Superman, grow up and no longer want to be Superman. Because guess what? The ideology of the child changes as the child matures. And so the child mature, then you will have the child being able to make more conscientious decisions, not from a place of inexperience, not from a place of ignorance and naivety, but more so from a place of understanding. So when that child grows into a man or a woman and make that decision to be in a particular sphere or to have a certain sexual orientation or to engage certain sexual activities, understand that that child would be well in the way of giving consent, in a way in which that child would have developed his or her worldview and now become a man or a woman. There's no possible way you can infringe upon that person's bodily autonomy unless you have decided to use force and or fraud to ascertain something from that person, which would be illegal. So regardless of what you may put on the table, there is no possible way with a clear conscience and empathy that you should even be thinking about normalizing pedophilia. TikTok now go carry that one here, you know. You see me? Understand that the breakdown of society today, it is allowed by men and carried out by women. Make that soak in your bone and every fiber of your spirit. It is allowed by men. Come now go sit here and act like some men do not have their involvement in this buffoonery. We have stepped aside, and I mean to some degree, we don't really want to fight women, and so we'd rather let them carry out what they carry out, and we sit back and watch it fail and say, you see it? They tell us they never did that work. Understand, gentlemen, there is no hope if we do not stand and speak about these things, because obviously our words and pen and paper work today. We cannot fight physically with anybody because we know masculinity is under attack. So you can't grab nobody by the throat and say, shut up! You have to just get the paper and the pen and write, or you take to some platform and speak as I am doing right now. The freedom of humanity is in hostile takeover. And this is being done through our women. They are the only ones who have free reign to do whatever they want and say whatever they want pertaining to our children, pertaining to men, masculinity, femininity, and have no true consequence that follows. I mean, not even beg nobody to like or share or repost that video.